everyone, and welcome to Ask the Warrior for the 23rd of August 2014. Gotta try something a little different here. I've turned off my computer monitor and I printed out the questions that I got via YouTube, and then towards the end I'm going to pop on Twitter and Facebook to see if there are any last minute questions that I can answer. Thank you all for your submissions, for your questions. I greatly appreciate it. We go 3 pages worth of questions here. I did limit people to 5 questions per person. 1 or 2 you did do 7 questions, but I let it slide this time. I have also gone through the questions and made sure that I didn't get ones that I've either already answered in a previous Ask the Warrior, or I've done a video on, or I'm planning to do a video on. If I do come across a question here that I think I've already answered, I'm going to skip it, but I have went through this once, twice, and thrice. But yeah, I've done my best, so we're going to dive right into this and no doing it. So yeah, let's dive into this with the first set of questions which come from YouTube via Miguel. Here is his first question. Did you plan on becoming a YouTuber, or did it just happen? I'm not too sure if I've answered this a few times, but I'll answer it every now and then just to clarify with people. I started doing YouTube, I think, back in 2009, and I did it merely for shits and giggles. I didn't plan on it becoming a recurring thing. I said to myself, if I do maybe 1 video a month, I'll be alright. I said at the time I was at school, and I just says, fuck it, since everyone else is doing it, why don't I do it? And I started doing just random reviews here or there, giving my thoughts on it, and then I started doing Mass Effect videos where I talked about my predictions for Mass Effect because I absolutely loved it. I didn't plan on like spending this money on a mic and a camera to make the quality good. I didn't plan on getting 2,000 subscribers. I didn't plan on meeting some amazing people. I kind of just fell into it as it went on. I did decide to do it, but as we're doing it on a more frequent basis, no, I didn't decide to do that. It just happened. People liked my videos, liked my content, and asked me to keep doing more. So that's how it happened, basically. Nothing too extravagant, and then I just do it because I enjoy it. I don't do it for the riches or the money, because I don't earn that much. And I do it because of you, because you keep watching me, apparently, because apparently I'm interesting. But yeah, I just kind of fell into it mostly. So, Miguel's second question is, DC or Marvel, which universe interests you more? Now, this is a tricky question because it depends on what universe you're talking about. You're talking about the cinematic universe, the animated universe, or the comic book universe, or the game universe. We'll go with the 2 main ones, the comic and... We'll go with 3, the animated, comic, and movieverse. We'll start with the movieverse because that's the easiest thing to answer ever. The Marvel movieverse is, in my opinion, the vastly superior movieverse compared to the DC one, just because DC haven't done a really good job with those movies in years. The last one I really enjoyed was probably maybe The Dark Knight. I think it was actually. I think it's down here. Let me just double check. Yep. The last real good DC movie I enjoyed was The Dark Knight. The other ones after that were just horrendous in my opinion. The Dark Knight Rises, as I watched it again and again, it just got shitter and shitter. Man of Steel was not really a Superman film in my opinion. Still a good film, I will admit that. It's still a good film, but I just don't think it's a good Superman film in my opinion. I just think DC have not done a good job with their movieverse, especially with the new Dawn of Justice coming out and the whole thing they're doing with their movies. I just don't like it. Marvel have just done an absolutely fantastic job and done a superior job in my opinion, starting with Iron Man, and I've enjoyed every Marvel movie that's ever came out. Have I enjoyed some more than others? Yes. Avengers is still my favourite superhero movie of all time. It's absolutely fantastic. And of course, Guardians of the Galaxy just happened, which no one expected to be good, but it was absolutely perfect. Probably the second best Marvel movie out of them all. And I'm very excited for any other Marvel movies that come out. I just love it, and I love the way they've handled it. DC have just done a really fucking shit job, in my opinion. And I really think they need a whole movie reboot, in my opinion. And also Wonder Woman needs to be in a movie. Not Dawn of Justice, I mean her own fucking movie she needs to be introduced in. That's beside the point. As for comic books, we'll go to we'll save comic books to the end. We'll go to animated. DC wins animated, hands down, in my opinion. DC have more animated series, movies, and other stuff better than Marvel. Marvel's ones, while good, I think just aren't as good as the cinematic verse or as good as Justice League. I think the Justice League, the DC animated universe is actually better than the movieverse in almost every respectable way, and is, in my opinion, kind of the better ones. And for example, I think I have a couple of them here. Yes, of course, I've got the Batman ones. I've got the five. In my opinion, I'll range them in the order I think they're the best. We've got Mask of the Phantasm, Under the Red Hood, Batman Mystery of Batwoman, Batman Gotham Knight, and Batman Year One. I also have the 5. Is the Superman one nearby, or is it somewhere else? I've got a similar box set to this that is the Superman one. It's over there. I could get it, but it's a bit of a frustration. I'm not going to go and get it right now because it's in a pile of other DVDs that I still have to watch. But yeah, I think the Superman ones, in my opinion, one of the best Superman ones is Superman versus the Elite, which does what Man of Steel should have done, only 10,000 times better. I highly recommend Superman versus the Elite. It is probably one of the best Superman movies I've ever seen, in my opinion, and it definitely is up there. Along with Wonder Woman and all the other ones. I wish they'd use more of their library instead of just relying on the tried and true. I think the only DC animated movie I absolutely hate, just because of what it is actually Justice League War. I absolutely hate that film. I think it is the worst of them all, in my opinion. I haven't seen the latest one. I haven't seen Son of Batman. I know a lot of people have said it's shit, but I will probably end up still watching it. And I have heard good things from Arkham, Assault on Arkham, and I will be getting that when I can, hopefully before Arkham Knight, depending on my financial situation. But I think DC have a vastly superior animated universe, in my opinion. And now we move on to comic books. Gonna be honest, I haven't read that many Marvel comic books, in all honesty. I have read the occasional Spider-Man one, but it is, of course, occasional DC comic books I've read. This is my most recent purchase, Sensational Comics, Wonder Woman, written by the absolutely fantastic, such a fantastic writer, Gail Simone, who is my favourite comic book writer, and writer in general so far. I read her Batgirl series. I know she has recently left that series. I'm going to be picking up Volume 5, which I think is the last volume that features her work in it. But Gail Simone is my favourite comic book writer. I also have Batwoman as well, which is really, really good. It's hit or miss in some instances, but it is really good in my opinion. So I am more of a DC comic book reader than I am a Marvel comic book reader. And the main reason for that is because none of the Marvel comic books have really stood out to me and made me want to go, oh, I'll pick that up. I like to pick up volumes over graphic novels personally. I only occasionally pick up the random comic here or there because I hear really good things about it. And also I wanted to read more Gail Simone. I was having a bit of a craving, and also a friend of mine told me it was really good as well. So I definitely like the DC comic verse. That doesn't mean I don't like the Marvel comic verse. I will eventually pick up a couple of comics in that verse, but I had to be very selective with my selections, unfortunately, with comics due to the financial reasons. And if you have any recommendation for really good Marvel storylines for me to pick up, please don't hesitate to put it in the comment section. I do like to read comics or graphic novels, whatever you want to call them. In the Marvel ones, I really want to read a good one. I really heard there's a couple of good ones out there. I've heard there's some really bad ones, but that's the same with DC. But other than that, yep, so in order, I think right now I'm a bit more of a DC fan than I'm a Marvel fan. If you add it all up there, it's like 2 to DC, 1 to Marvel. But I am more of a superhero movie guy than I am a comic book guy. So yeah, I definitely think Marvel is the vast superior movies. DC has the better animation, and as for comics, I've only read DC mostly and newer ones. And by the way, I'm saying this right now, that is Wonder Woman. That is the Wonder Woman I love. The only thing I don't like about this Wonder Woman outfit is I prefer the gold that was on the breastplate, the pelvis, the waist area, and her headband. And her bracers are fine silver. I prefer her with her gold look rather than this silver metallic look. But at the same time, this is the Wonder Woman outfit I love, and not for the perverted reason. I think it's just that it suits an Amazonian warrior, in my opinion. If you're wondering, yes, this is definitely worth picking up. This is a really good fucking read, in my opinion. I really enjoy it, but that's because Gail Simone is awesome. But yeah, Wonder Woman is definitely... if anyone's wondering who my top DC heroes are, it goes Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. So I do like Superman. I just think Wonder Woman, Batman are better. And so yeah, don't worry, I'm not reviewing comics anytime soon. I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on that. And for other alternative comics, I am reading Hellblazer. So yeah, that's really the point. So yeah, Miguel, I hope that answered your question. Sorry if I went on a little bit of a ramble there. Next question from Miguel. Who are your favorite characters throughout the Dragon Age games? I've answered this before, but I can't pick a favorite. I love them all. The only ones I don't like are most of the ones from Dragon Age 2. I do not like Fenris, Anders, or Sebastian, or Carver. But at the same time, Carver has his charm. I like the rest of the party members in Dragon Age 2 and the Dragon Age books as well. So I like all the characters. I don't have one particular favourite. I love them all equally, and especially hopefully DDI will be just as good. Next question from Miguel, his final question, is if you were stranded on an island, who would you prefer to be stranded with? Gamer MD83, Ability Drain, or Lady Insanity? Okay. I think Ability Drain would probably end up killing me within like a week, because I think Insanity could probably take me as well. Probably MD as well. So who would I rather be stuck with on a stranded island? Depends how big the island is, but either one of them would probably end up killing me in my sleep, because I would drive them absolutely insane. I mean, talking to them on Skype's one thing, but once they meet me in real life, I think they're going to absolutely hate me. If I had to pick, if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably say I think I have a better chance. Well, I don't know, let me think. See, I'm thinking survival here. Who do I think would be the most beneficial with me survival-wise? Who do I think I could last the longest with? I think maybe MD, but at the same time, I don't know. Maybe Ability, Insane. I'll go with MD. I think I'd survive a little bit longer with MD. And also, I think she's the most likely of the three that I could probably take in a fight, because, well, I think Ability could probably kick my arse, and Insanity could probably do the same. I do know MD has a martial arts background as well. She could probably take me, but I think I have a better chance against her due to the fact she's so small. But yeah, I'll go MD. So yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go MD, but in all honesty, I'd be happy to be stuck on an island with any one of them, because they'd probably end up killing me within a week. Next question comes from Uberfreak, spelled with a 4, and his question is: have you played or seen PT, the playable teaser for Silent Hill? Yes, I have seen the playable trailer for Silent Hill. The PT thing, I've seen my friend N7 play it. I've seen JP play it. I've seen Darkside Phil play it. I've seen a bunch of people play it, and here's my opinion: it's a fucking demo. That is not a playable teaser. It's a fucking demo. As for the overall concept, I have seen the trailer. I am interested. The Guillermo del Toro and Norman Reedus are in it. Not so much Kojima, because I don't like Kojima. I haven't played a Silent Hill game since probably one on the PlayStation 1, to my knowledge, and even then I didn't play it for long. I don't get scared easily jump scares I can normally see coming, so I didn't get scared watching it at all. But I am interested. I am interested because of Guillermo del Toro and Norman Reedus. Was it Reese or Reedus? I just call him Norman. For those who don't know, he plays Dale on The Walking Dead. I'm very interested to see him portray his debut in a video game. I know he did do also the Walking Dead survival game, but that game was fucking atrocious. But I want to see how he does, and nothing to do with The Walking Dead, and a new character. I really want to see. I do know he has quite a bit of range. So yeah, I'm interested on seeing that. I'm sorry, I should have probably stuck my phone on silent, but you'll hear a ding every now and then. So yeah, I've seen it. It looks interesting. Will I play it? No, I'm not playing PT. Will I play Silent Hills? Probably, because I'm a Guillermo del Toro fan. I do like his work. Next set of questions comes from Gabriel. His first question is: what will your default party in Dragon Age Inquisition be? Class and characters. I don't know enough about the characters to answer that question. Normally in Dragon Age, I like to have a bit of a jack of all trades party, so I always have a spellcaster, I always have a rogue, I always have a warrior. It all depends on what I eventually decide my Inquisitor to be, whether I choose my Inquisitor to be a mage or a thief, sorry, a rogue. Those are the two classes I normally play. I'm not a big fan of warriors. Don't get me wrong, I could probably play a warrior, no problem, but I would probably end up going with a rogue or a mage. It all depends on what character I play, and then I like to change it up. I like to use all my party. It depends what characters I end up growing to like and hate in the game, and I'm sure I'm going to end up hating at least one, but hating for the right reasons. I don't know enough about Blackwall yet. I don't know enough about the Iron Bull. I do not know enough about Vivienne. I don't know enough about a lot of the characters. The only characters I know about the most are Cassandra, Varric, and Cole. Those are the 3 characters I know the most of. I don't know about the rest of them yet. I have to wait until I see them until I can decide. So I don't want to answer that question until I've played the games, which is a heartbreaking week. Next question from Gabriel is, who will follow you around the most in DAI? Do not know. I can't answer that. Sorry. For now, well, you don't know the stats or ability of all your parts. Oh, it's just one big continuous question. Sorry, it's not 3 questions. I hope I answered that. I don't know yet. It all depends on what they are. I've kind of avoided any stat systems of the characters. I know they're classes, but I've avoided the stat system because I want to experiment. I want to mix and match my characters, and then eventually, I'll make my decision. But other than that, I want to go in as blind as possible to DEI as possible, due to the fact that I cover the game. I can't go in completely blind, but I want to go in as blind as I possibly can. So I am avoiding a couple of things. So sorry about that. Next set of questions comes from Nick Straits, and his first question is, lobster claws for hands or snake tongue for a tongue? Lol. Question mark. That's an easy question. I'll go with the snake tongue. Because, sorry, I need my hand. I need my hand to type. I can't type with lobster claws, and I need to write as well. So yeah, that's I don't get why that's a fucking hard question. You can do more with a snake tongue than you can with lobster hands, in my opinion. With a snake tongue, you can smell, you can taste, and don't get me started on the other stuff you can do with it. Insert sexual jokes somewhere here, and that's just why I go. So yeah, snake tongue is a piece of piss. That's easy. Next question from Nick is, only single player for DAI or also optional multiplayer with the risk of hindering the single player experience? BioWare have not announced anything on the single player, on the multiplayer yet. We do know that DAI will possibly have it. Overall, this is what I'm going to say. As long as the single player and multiplayer are kept separate and the multiplayer does not interfere with the single player, I am completely okay with it. I have no problem. Multiplayer should never be something you have to do in a game unless your game is completely fixated out, like a Dota, League of Legends, COD. Unless your game is fixated around multiplayer primarily, it should never hinder the single player. The single player and the multiplayer are 2 separate beasts, in my opinion. So I kind of hope that if there is multiplayer, it's kept separate, and the single player is where everything mostly is, and the multiplayer is just a little side thing. Don't get me wrong, Mass Effect 3's multiplayer was done very wrong the way they implemented it, but it was still a fun multiplayer in my opinion. So yeah, as long as they do something along the lines with the Mass Effect, except for take away the stupid war asset thing, if they do that in Inquisition, I'll be royally pissed off. As long as they don't do something like that, I'll be completely fine with it. So that's basically my answer for that. Which console is better, PS4 or Xbox One? I am actually torn between which one I get. Which one I want to get. My apologies. I only own a PS4, so I'm very biased. I do enjoy the PS4. Right now, I don't have a massive library. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 games for it, including Watch Dogs. I've got 4 games for it, and 1 or 2 on from PlayStation Plus for free, and Valiant Hearts. I have Valiant Hearts as well, which, by the way, is a really depressing game, in a good way. But I definitely have to say that I would say the PS4 is more worth it just because of the way it's going. As I said, I have not played an Xbox One, so I can't really see it. But if you want me to be honest, there really isn't a reason to get either console at the moment. There's not that launch title or that exclusive title to get. There's no Uncharted. There's no Gears of War for either system, for example. Like, I'm using those 2 as examples. Those were the 2 big systems. There's no Halo and there's no Uncharted. Those were the two big system sellers in the previous gen. I would definitely say wait a little bit longer. If you want me to be honest, go with a PC if you can afford it. Instead of spending like £500-600 on a gaming rig, on a gaming PC, maybe invest into a gaming rig because you have a bit more options with a PC if you want me to be honest. I have a PC and a PS4, so I've got quite a lot of options. But if it's between the Xbox One and the PS4, I'm very biased. I would have to say a PS4 because that's the only system I own, and it has treated me right so far, and it is a good system in my opinion. I don't know about the Xbox One, haven't played it, and I don't think I'll ever will on an Xbox One. There's no system selling game for it yet for me, and also their business model is pretty shitty. That's the last question from Nick, and we'll move on to the next one, which comes from Ricard Spaghetti. Question for Ask the Warrior. What does your save file from your what's the save file you'll be using for your first DAI playthrough look like? What choices did you make? What your Warden and your Hawk were like, etc. I want to say this right now. I have a video planned for this. Very similar to what Gamer MD83 did with her one, which she showed off her Warden and her Hawk. I will be doing something similar to that at a later date, but right now I don't want to say that. But if you follow me for any length of time, you know my choices. I'll say this: my Warden was a Dalish elf, and my Hawk was a comedic rogue asshole. Best way I can sum up. So yeah, sorry I can't say any more, Spaghetti, but you will see a video of that later on. Don't worry about it. Jacalister's next set of questions. His first question is: if your Warden had to die in Dragon Age, how would you want him to fall? I think you mean fall. Okay, I get it now. In a blaze of glory. In all honesty, I want my if my Warden had to die, depending on what happened to him, I would want him to go out in a blaze of glory, like running towards an army of bad guys and just carving his way through them until eventually the numbers became too much for him and he would eventually die, or going up against a dragon or an army of demons, going out with a blaze of glory, defending what he believes in. Just actually do a wee quick swig of juice. Going out in a blaze of glory would be his best way. Defending and fighting for what he believes in. I think that's how my Warden would want to go out. Of course, he'd have to get a quick snog halfway, and Morrigan first, like saying "Mwah," the classic cheesy "I love you," and go, and then die. So that's how I'd want my Warden to go out. Next question from Jack Jacalister. How many more Dragon Age games do you think there will be? Well, the Age of Dragons is coming up to its final set of years. I think there's only like 60, maybe 30 years, somewhere in the range of 30 to 60 years left for the Dragon Age, which is the time frame in which the Dragon Age games are set. In all honesty, as long as they keep doing good stories, I definitely see the Dragon Age series of games continuing on for as long as BioWare want to do with them. If BioWare want to do 10 Dragon Age games, each one having a different protagonist, and like maybe Dragon Age 1, 2, and 3 will be one story, then 4, 5, and 6 will be another story, then 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 will be another story. I'll leave it up to BioWare. I think the Dragon Age series is such a vast universe, very similar to the Mass Effect, Star Trek, and Star Wars universe, that you could do a lot more with it than just that. And even then, there's plenty of rooms for books, movies, TV series. The Dragon Age universe is just as vast as the Star Trek and Star Wars universe, in my opinion, as well as the Mass Effect universe. I hold all of them in the same category. There's so much to do with them that you could basically write as many stories as you want in them. I definitely think it still has a lot of potential, in my opinion, to be continued for years to come. So as long as BioWare keep making them and doing a good job, they can keep making them as long as they want. Who would win in a fight, Mordin from Mass Effect or the Archdemon from Dragon Age Origins? Look, I love Mordin, but that dragon would rip him to pieces. That dragon would eat him up in an instant. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure Mordin would put up one hell of a fucking fight. I'm sure he would use every Solarian trick he knew. He would use every bit of advanced technology he had to try and burn through the armor of the dragon, shoot it, try everything he could. But it's a fucking archdemon. It took an army to beat it in Dragon Age Origins. I'm sorry, one man, even Mordin, would not be able to take it on. I don't even... well, Grunt maybe... Grunt would probably do some damage to it, but Morden... I love him, but I think the Archdemon would probably eat him within an instant and vaporize him. If it was just one-on-one, then yeah, I'm sorry, Morden, you're dead. Sorry. He'd still go in a blaze of glory. He would not give up easily. He would fight to the bitter end. Even if he was being devoured, he would probably like try his best to fight his way out of the Archdemon. But I think the Archdemon would probably win, in my opinion. Now, if it was Morden and the Shepherd Squad, then yeah, I'm pretty sure the Archdemon's going to get its ass handed to it. But if it's just Morden, I'm afraid Morden's dead. Sorry. Sorry. Next set of questions comes from Undead Elvis 85, who is a frequent submitter of questions. What is your favourite starship from any franchise? Also, if you could have your own starship, what class would it be, and what would you call it? I'm going to get shot for this. I'm not a big analyzer of starships and the sci-fi things. I like the look of them. I don't examine them in too much detail. I'm trying to think. I do know a lot of them, and I'm trying to think of one I would want. I'm sorry, but it would have to be. I can actually tell you what one it is. I can show you what one it is. Can you? Don't get me wrong, I love the Enterprise, I love the Battlestar, I love Firefly, I love Serenity, sorry. The Firefly class ship. But if you had to put, it would have to be, if I could have it, I'd want the Normandy SR2. That would be it, hands down. Like, if I could have any ship from any... Oh, sorry, this is the Normandy SR1, I do apologise. But this is the Normandy SR1 miniature model, by the way, and thank you, Gran. But I'd have the Normandy SR2 Alliance version, not the Cerberus version. But I would have the Normandy SR2 if I had to ask, if you put a gun to my head. So yeah, it'd be the Normandy SR2. If I could have my own type of ship, what class would it be? It would probably be very similar to the Normandy. It would be a frigate class ship, because that, in my opinion, has the most variety in it. As for naming it, I don't know. It would depend on the circumstances. It would depend on the reasons why, how I got the ship, why I got the ship, what did I want to do with the ship. I'd probably be very similar to the Firefly crew. I'd just be like taking jobs and be a bit of a just survivalist, in all honesty. Very similar to Mal. What would I call it? I'd probably call it something simple or something relaxed. I wouldn't call it the Claymore. I wouldn't call it a sword or anything. I'd probably call it something like Alba Gabrath, which, yeah, Alba Gabrath actually sounds better. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a Gaelic. I think it stands for Scotland Forever or Scotland. I'm not 100% certain what it stands for. Something like that. I'm trying to think. I don't know what. Honestly, I do not know what I'd call my own ship. I'd probably have to talk with some friends about it, but I don't know. It wouldn't be anything threatening. It would be something that would be welcoming, but it'd probably be a frigate class ship, fairly large, but not too large. Probably a medium-sized frigate. So yeah, probably a frigate. Don't know what I'd name it. And what was the rest of your question? What would I call it? I also don't know what I'd call it, but yeah, I definitely would want that. A frigate-sized ship that I could heavily modify to my own liking, add weapons, add shielding, add all the juicy stuff. But yeah, that's about. Yeah, I don't know what I'd name it, in all honesty. I'm very bad at names. I'm sorry. If you follow my content, you know I'm horrible at names. But I wouldn't call it something threatening. So that's a bit vague. In Dragon Age, how many Witches of the Wilds do you think are out there? Do you think Femeth could be either the Elder One or a daughter of an old god? We do know that there are at least 2 Witches of the Wilds, daughters of Flameth. Morrigan and Morrigan's sister, who's featured in the Dragon Age comic books, Silent Grove. Highly recommend reading that. As for Flameth, there are too many theories, too many variables. I personally am in the belief that she is either an old god or maybe even Andraste herself. But I definitely think she's at least an old god. I don't think she's the daughter of one, if you ask me. I think we'll do the last set of questions on the first page and then we'll split the video. But the next set of questions comes from Youth Yap TV. And his first question is, 1 month to go till the referendum. Do you till the referendum? You decide. Have you decided how you will vote? I'm not going to say how I'm vote. For those who don't know, in September there is going to be a Scottish independence referendum, and this will basically decide the future of Scotland, whether or not we remain part of the United Kingdom or not. I would rather not talk about the topic, and honestly, I try and avoid politics as much as possible, and I'm not going to say whether I'm voting yes or no. You can guess if you want. If you could go to any other country besides Colin, I know this is the greatest country on earth, it is, to learn or study, where would you go? Canada, or probably Canada's one of the top options in my opinion. Maybe Australia for a while, New Zealand. I think Canada would probably be one of the first ones, because it is a good country, so probably Canada. It's just because I think it has a bit more opportunity for me in the IT field, in all honesty. Next question is, any part of history you are or have been interested in? Mostly mythology. I was very interested in that in my youth. Still am today. Greek mythology especially, I do like it. One of my favourite book series is the Percy Jackson series. I like Greek mythology and how it is and all that. I like stories, if you can't tell. I like stories and how that, and in all honesty, every story has a bit of truth in it. I've always believed that phrase. And I think Greek mythology is a good example, like Hercules, Perseus, and so many other stories and all that I absolutely love. And I think it's a very good opinion. And also the whole gods thing, I kind of like that. I like multiple gods, sounds very interesting. But yeah, so that's it. Next question from Youth is, if you could go anywhere in Scotland and you had the money, where would you want to go? Where in Scotland would you want to go? There's a lot. I haven't visited all over Scotland, unfortunately, due to many reasons. I'd love to see Loch Lomond, Loch Ness, the Wallace Monument. I've never seen that. I'd love to go maybe up towards the very top of the Highlands. I'd love to go pretty far up into Scotland. I'd love to visit all the places in Scotland, but as of right now, it's a money issue and travel issue. There are a lot of places that I'd love to go, but I think that's I couldn't name them all in my opinion. So that's actually page 1, so you will see a bit of glare for a moment. I am going to split the video here. But yeah, that's page 1 of the questions. We'll move on to the next page and a half of questions. But thank you everyone who was mentioned on there for the first page of questions. I hope I answered your question to the best of my ability. And I'll see you in part 2 of Ask the Warrior, if I can stop the recording. Thank you. Hey there, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, regardless of whatever the video topic was about, because I know I'm a complete nut tit sometimes. If you want to check out any of my other further content, all you have to do is click on the little Scottish Warrior 92 thing down in the bottom there to take you to the channel and check out the rest of my videos. If you want to follow me on any of my social medias, it's just Scottish Warrior 92 everywhere else. And also, if you want to help support the channel, all you have to do is pop in the link in the description to my Patreon page, patreon.com/Scottish Warrior 92, in which if you feel like my content is worth it, you can donate $1 a month to help continue to support this channel and help me make this into a full-time gig. Feel free to go check out the Patreon page to make sure it is to your liking and you actually want to spend $1 a month on this shitty channel. Thank you for watching. Again, as always, I am Scottish Warrior 92, and I hope you'll stick around and may even join the clan by clicking that subscribe button. Thank you. Mwah.